Hi everyone and welcome back. It's Mindy Egan and today I'm going to be sharing a quick card I created using the new stamp set Joyful Heart Bears by Stacy Yakula from My Favorite Things. I'm starting off by doing some Copic coloring. So I stamped a couple of the bears and the little butterfly images onto some Neenah Solarite cardstock. This is 80 pound and I used the My Favorite Things Extreme Black ink, which is Copic friendly. And then I'm coloring in with my Copics. I started with the bear. This bear is E33, E21, and E00. So I kept this one fairly light in color tones. I added some shadow areas to the top of the head, which is the E33, a little bit under the muzzle, so in the neck area, and then just a little bit where the shirt would be casting a shadow down under the belly. And then a little bit of the shadow area to the inside of the leg and the bottom of the feet. And then I will blend out with the E21 and finish with the E00. I do like to color my images twice, so I have 2 layers of Copic coloring on there, and that just helps me blend better. And then for the muzzle, I use the E11 and E00. And a little bit of R21 for the ears. I just kept the ears really simple, didn't add any additional shading to it. For the shirt, I'm going to come in with RV17, RV14, and RV23. So I have a really nice bright pink shirt. And I added the darkest color, the RV17, to each side of the shirt and then right along the edges of the shirt where the arms are. So the arms are going to look like they're behind the body. And then I'll blend out with the RV14 and RV23. Now I have found when coloring with these dark pinks that they like to bleed if I lay down too much color. So I'm being very careful how much blending I'm doing and how much color I'm laying down because I didn't want that bleeding outside of my image. And then I will come in and add the R21 to the hearts on the shirt. And a little bit for the hearts that are in the bucket, and I will do a C4 and C2 for the little bucket that the bear is carrying. So I just did some quick coloring there, just enough to give it some dimension. I decided to change up colors for my other bear, so I used C5, C3, C2, C1, and C0. I did spread these out between the actual body and the muzzle of the bear, but I used C5 to add in my shadow layers. So on the top of the head, just a little bit where the heart that the bear is holding would cast a little bit of a shadow. And then I also did some shadows on the underside of the arms and a little bit where the heart would be casting a shadow on the belly. And then I will blend those out as well. So I thought it'd be fun to just have 2 different color bears on my card for today. Keeping this one really light, adding R21 for the ears. And for the heart, I'm going to use the same colors that I had used in the previous bear. So I have the RV17, RV14, and RV23. I added the shadow areas to underneath the arms. So the arms would be casting a shadow over that area of the heart. And then blending those out with my other 3 colors. And like I said, being real careful because these pinks, for me anyway, tend to bleed because I do color with a heavy hand. And a little bit of shading to the belly area. For the butterflies, I kept it real simple. I'm sorry, bumblebees. I kept them really simple. Then I just used the coordinating dies, held them down with the Post-it tape, and ran those through my die cut machine. For a really simple background, I'm going to do some ink blending. So I'm using some Bristol Smooth cardstock, and this is measured at 4 by 5 1/4, starting off with the Mermaid Lagoon. And I am starting just on the one end. I start kind of heavy at the bottom and then lighten up as I get towards the center. And I do kind of tilt my sponge a little bit so that I'm not laying down as much color as I'm getting towards that center. And I like to use a Post-it tape just to protect my fingers and also protect my cardstock so I don't get inky fingerprints all over it. Once I clean up that blue, because I don't want that getting into my yellow that I'm going to use, I have squeezed lemonade Distress Oxide ink, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm starting off heavy at the bottom and then getting lighter as I get towards the middle. And this is just a great way to create a background if you're kind of stumped, you're not sure what you want to create, and that's where I was kind of feeling right now as I wanted to create a scene, but I was just kind of stumped at the moment. So these are always really great backgrounds if you want to use the images on the stamp set to create a really cute card. These are some simple backgrounds you can add to them. So I just spritzed some water down, added the droplets by flicking my paintbrush onto the background, and I'll dab it up with a paper towel. And I will also take the Mermaid Lagoon and I'm going to squish that onto my craft mat, add a little bit of water, mix those up, and flick those on just for a little bit more interest and contrast on the background. Once my background is dry, I'm going to go ahead and just stamp the sentiment right onto this card base. So I want to do this before I add my images. This is also from the Joyful Heart Bear stamp set. I just line that up in my MISTI at the top of the card using the My Favorite Things Extreme Black ink and stamped that twice at the top. I just kind of blow it on a little bit just to make sure it was nice and dry. And then I'll attach this to a white A2 size card base. And I'll go ahead and add my images with some foam squares just to give it a little bit of dimension, something a little extra to the card since I kept the rest of it pretty simple. And then placing those images, I'm keeping my bears towards the middle, and then I'll have my bumblebees flying around the sentiment. And that will finish up this card. So it's just a quick and easy way to create some backgrounds for your cards. If you just want to get to using some of your stamps that you have in your stash, this is a great way to do it. I will also have another card here that I created using the Joyful Heart Bear stamp set. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.